Thank you for watching KTN. Welcome back. And now we continue with the focus on Uasin Gishu County as Eldoret town gets the city status. In 3 days' time, President William Ruto will be camping here, and we will be here to be bringing you that. But on set with me right now is Governor of Uasin Gishu County, Jonathan B. Chelilim, the man who prides of Nguzo Kumi, the 10 pillars. We shall be talking about those a little bit later. And also Koyet Tito, who is the city manager of Uasin Gishu County. And now, Governor, you've aptly talked about employment that will happen that will come about by investors coming in, and also the initiatives both by the national government and the county government in making sure that we address the problem that is youth unemployment, pretty much just unemployment overall. And also with that, investors will be trooping here, and we know what will happen as well is the price of land will shoot up the roof. And with that in tow, that in place, citizens are pretty much asking, will these affect the taxes that we pay on the land that we have? We know land is an important facet of this county. Will they be affected when the Eldoret town becomes a city?
Thank you, Dennis. You're asking about the evaluation role. First, it is common to man to fear something that is unknown. Everybody is asking, what is a city now? What will change? Will Daima Towers move to the other corner? Those are the fears. But to allay on these fears, especially on tariffs and licenses, and of course land rates, we want to assure the public that there is nothing to fear, because this is on finance bill. There is no way you will just put taxes on somebody before you go into public participation. And it is obvious that before we do anything, we will ask the public. And there is nothing that will change. It will still be us. But as we move on and as we develop, and some areas are improved, your infrastructure has improved, there is stomach all over, now it will go back to the people and ask them, do you like the services? How best can we do this? And people alone from their position will be able to say what they want to do about this city. So there is no way we will impose taxes or land rates to a higher level to our people. It is not true. A city is supposed to be very friendly. And, you know, we are talking about attracting investors. And, you know, there are many benefits. We cannot finish talking about benefits. But we should not look at only in terms of what will happen. Where is the boundary between town and the rural folk? But we are saying what is going to happen is, can we measure on the benefits? There is a lot more that we have missed. Our farmers, for example, they just come from, this is a farming community. Don't you think we will be able to get ready market for our farm produce? Milk, potatoes, maize, and all that. So to me, I will take it to be a blessing than a curse. And don't you think, now that we are a hub for academics, we have universities here, we have colleges. It will be very easy for our young people to come to town and study and read, because knowledge is there, right? So to me, we don't have to focus on the negativity. I want us to see what is the good thing that this town is bringing towards us. Now look at the cities of the world. I mean, you go to England, go to any other city, New York, everywhere, even Johannesburg down here. What pleases you most is the investors and the beauty of the town and everything about the city and the opportunities. And if we look at the other side of it, we will not move. So I want to urge the residents of Uasin Gishu and our people. And for your information, this is headquarters of NOREB, North Rift Economic Bloc. It is not going to impact in Eldoret alone. It will impact in Nandi, for example. The Nandi trains athletes, and they are also a farming community. So is Iten in Elgeyo Marakwet. Iten will grow exponentially. We will not even explain how, because everything that happens here, it has to go back to the neighboring counties. So I'm seeing Trans Nzoia, I'm seeing West Pokot, Kapenguria, I'm seeing Kabarnet, Iten here and everywhere. I'm seeing some upcoming towns which also will help to affect in a positive way the people of this region. So to me, it is not a curse, it is a blessing. Yeah.
And Tito, now, the governor says anything that will happen, decisions that will be made in this county will have to include the members here, because even the constitution demands that public participation is actually held. And even as we move forward now, there is the question of infrastructure that we talk about. Today I was just being told that 64 kilometers, 64 stadiums, 64 market means 64 kilometers from the equator right to where we are sitting right now. And as we talk about the 64 market, just not far from here, it is a development that is ongoing. I will talk about the 64 stadium. We were there earlier today. It is ongoing, and this comes with the opportunities that comes for the locals here, because when you talk about job opportunities, suppliers and all that, it is for the locals. So as we talk about public participation, I know even when we were taking these proposals to the Senate, the people who are involved, how have they embraced the entire conversation on this town becoming a city? Are they happy? Are they smiling?
With great jubilation. The farmers are happy. The business community is extremely happy. In fact, the other day, His Excellency the Governor hosted our military veterans. They are here. They want to be part of the celebration of our town. We have, like we mentioned earlier, people of all walks of life, and they have indicated their great desire to promote their city, their town, into, one of the cities to be counted in the world. Sometimes when the governor is in joyous moods, he will say the city of New York or Cologne or Nairobi. Now we are in that league, for those who understand the language of radio, years back. So the people of Eldoret have received this with a lot of enthusiasm, and they are looking forward to great changes, of course, which is a little bit of pressure on the part of governance of the city, and of course, which demands extra support from the office of the governor in ensuring that we are able to plan ahead. We are looking at Eldoret as the hub of the great North Rift metropolis. The governor has mentioned Nandi, for example. I'm sure he's talking about Kapsabet. We have Iten. We have towns like Burnt Forest, where your former school is. We are talking about towns like Kitale, for example. So we are looking at Eldoret as the hub of this great metropolis that our plans, our future plans, need to feed into, bringing all this interconnectivity, so that the future is such that you could live, for example, in Iten and work in Eldoret, or you could live in Burnt Forest or Kitale or any other, because the plans that are being laid are those of improving the transport and road connectivity, proposals on light rail systems, proposals on rapid bus transportation, proposals on going green in terms of energy. We live in the smack, like 40 kilometers from the equator. That means we are actually at the center of the equator. Eldoret happens to be one of those places, actually Uasin Gishu is one of those places whose solar yields are the highest that you could have. It is not cold, but it has very high solar yields. So the issue is, how do we as a city go green? How do we make the people of Eldoret think green, in terms of everything? How do we grow a town that is responsive to the challenges of climate, changes that are happening in the world? We have witnessed a few challenges on things like flooding, extreme, rains sometimes, extreme temperatures sometimes, and it means that we need to be awake and aware of the challenges that lie ahead, and to be able to respond to them at this point in time, to be able to address them for the purposes of the current generation and also for the future generation.
And Governor, he's talked about something that is very dear to my heart. How do we make sure that this city goes green? I remember a time when I was still young, we could go to Sosiani River and swim. My dad was not so happy about that, but you could swim in there. And today we're having this discussion on how we're going green. We know there are buildings in this town that have gone green. We talk about Daima Towers, and you talk about their cladding, the aluminium cladding, and it's beautiful. It is saving energy. And this is kind of a conversation that is moving forward. Therefore, Governor, as this town becomes a city, we are happy about it. What is your vision for the city of Eldoret?
Thank you, Dennis. You are asking very good questions. I have so many answers, but let me answer 2 or 3. First, you've talked about my Nguso Kumi. Nguso number 1, agriculture. And through the city and the lens of the city, I want to see the value addition of our farm products, our farm produce. And there is what we call County Aggregation Industrial Park. It is going on in my Ben. And this certainly is meant to value add on the crops, on the horticulture that comes from the farmers. I'm seeing through the lens that again, we will be able to value add on our maize. I'm seeing that we will have a milling plant that will, help us get the maize flour that we need. We brand it using our own name, and the farmers will be very happy. I'm also seeing through Nguso number 2, I see something on health. And I ask myself, it is not only having the brick and mortar hospitals, it is going to diagnostics. That is key. So as we move forward through this city, as we welcome the city, I don't just to see the buildings called health centers or health facilities. I want to see the diagnostics. Now we are one of the counties, if not the only one now, which is using the drones machines to help us aid us in medical world. And I think this is the way to go. I look at another Nguso of mine, the trade, and I said Nguso number 4, trade is the real thing. That right now, the 64 ultra-modern market is coming up. It will be the only one of its own kind in the region. 8 floors up, and it has a parking of more than 200 vehicles down there. So every farmer, every trader, everybody will be here. Those for fish, the one for whatever clothes, everything, even the banks and the hospitals will be there. I'll look at the infrastructure, for example, the road networks, the railway networks. Are you aware that, I know you come from here, the former Eldoret, the railway station, just after this you just go. It has been passed off because we are expecting Eldoret railway city. And I want to imagine the networks of the railway going through our city here and there, picking people and there. It is going to be a beautiful thing. It is not just buildings. We have housing plant there. We have hospital there. We have hotels, 5-star or so. And to me, this is what we are looking for. I could say more. Look at the trade, and I mean the international community and investors, that we have special economic zone. We have a land that is gazetted already, and infrastructure is going on, some construction is going on. It is called EBZ. And this one will be ready for any investor who would want to invest in Eldoret. He has mentioned about being proud of our city. That many years ago, when I don't know if you are Gen Z or a millennial, but I remember in the 70s and some part of 80s, when we used to carry small radio, and there was this in the village. There was, I don't know, the radio Germany, I don't know what it was, but where cities talk to each other. And you would hear some phrase like this, Nairobi. And then they talk about Nairobi, Moi, and the rest, Kampala, There are towns talking, and the networking, Johannesburg, and then New York, So I'm so happy and so proud that this time now, we are going to join the league. They will be saying, Eldoret, that alone will open the door for us and for the investors and for friends and tourists. And I think we will be the only town or city that will look different from the rest of the cities.
And you see, the governor, even as you talk about Radio Germany, Standard Media Group is here to make sure that this message actually gets to them wherever they are, because we've gone digital. But I come to you, Tito, now. As we talk about the city status and what it means, then comes the question of job opportunities for the youth and making sure that these opportunities get to exist for everybody in this city. So from where you sit in terms of how we are going to benefit, we're going to raise more taxes from the opportunities that do exist. What are some of the plannings that are in place, making sure that when the hammer strikes, we are ready for this money to be spent back to the people and be able to make sure that it is the best looking city in this country?
Thank you, Dennis. Maybe just before I respond to that, allow me to add on to something that you had asked Governor earlier on, and this is on the issue of going green. And we talked about solar energy in this part of the world being one of the best sources of energy. And first, to be able to provide safety, security, the freedom of the people of Eldoret, a town has to be properly lit. It has to enjoy a 24-hour economy. So what His Excellency the Governor has done is that so far, there's a very high likelihood that on Thursday he's going to sign a green energy memorandum of understanding with an investor that is going to convert waste to energy in our town so as to produce, power for industry, which will create jobs. And secondly, he'll also be receiving investors who are going to invest in a solar plant in Eldoret that is going to generate about 4 megawatts for the purposes of lighting the streets, that street lighting, generating sufficient power for the offices, generating power enough to be able to run our traffic signals, and also being able to serve other public facilities which are in town, which include hospitals, of course, and to be able to support the kind of diagnostics and telemedicine that His Excellency the Governor has mentioned. And so once we have that kind of infrastructure in place, which is supported by, of course, the physical infrastructure that has been put in place, and as you are aware, the housing plans that the national government and His Excellency the Governor have also put in place are going to create this ecosystem of very vibrant communities living in Eldoret, seeking opportunities. And you can see very well that everything is fitting into place in the sense that now here is an export processing zone, which is going to provide, of course, tax holidays and rebates for investing in this part of the world and exporting to the rest of the world. That means manufacturing. That means employment in massive scales. We are talking about value addition in agriculture, the county aggregation and industrial parks. That means massive employment. The older people do the agriculture. The younger people do the value addition. They are able to sell, sell online and sell in many other creative ways. So the biggest responsibility that we have is to ensure that we've created the enabling environment and infrastructure that supports the creation of job opportunities, and also to be able to expose our young people not only to local opportunities online, but also to the actual opportunities of adding value to that which they are able to be able to produce themselves. We have one of our locals that is supporting, for example, tomorrow during the during the conferment of city status, giving us internet services. One of the biggest plans that we have is to make Eldoret a hot city, an internet hot city, so that, we have a lot of young people. I said it's a vibrant community. We have universities. One of the biggest reasons why Eldoret is, attracting a lot of attention is because of the many universities we have. We have University of Eldoret, we have Moi University, University of East Africa, Baraton. We have so many campuses of many other national universities. We have polytechnics. Actually, we are one of the few cities which has 2 national polytechnics. So it means we are producing proper manpower that is fit for market. So these issues of affordable housing, for example, and so on. Our very own locals are able to do that. We have inventors, and maybe during the confinement, if you go around, you might see one of our local inventors who has invented a carbon-free jiko that uses very little firewood or maize cobs to feed a whole multitude of people. So this whole system is interconnected in such a way that we are able to provide opportunities for the young and the old, and of course with due attention to also people with disabilities in our town.
Governor, now as everyone troops to Eldoret, there is the aspect of that they are welcomed to these towns, to these cities, so that we are able to push it forward. What guarantee or what message do you have for Kenyans from outside this town who will be coming from far and wide, because there are opportunities in this town, in this city in the next 3 days, that they are welcomed to Eldoret and Uasin Gishu County?
Thank you very much. First, you realize that two things are key in the town. First is the neatness, the cleanliness. Second is the security. We need a town where it is so secure, or a city that is so secure, especially for the dwellers and for the business community and for the investors. And Eldoret is not known for bad things. You've heard of that. The reason why we have a brand like Champions is because we are known for good things. And I want to confirm to you that even Kigali or Rwanda, the plan that they have used to develop their town or their city was from Eldoret. So, in fact, we are supposed to go bring back our plan and continue with it. Because right now, Kigali or Rwanda is being marketed profusely by everybody else. That is a place or a country of choice and a country of destiny. And I want to say, as Eldoret, I want to assure the investors that if there will be a place you will enjoy staying, it is Uasin Gishu. We never hear of any bad report, because the people of Eldoret are hospitable by themselves. They are very responsible. They are welcoming. And to prove that, just look around. Who is not in this town? Just look around and you will be shocked that almost everybody is here. And we are really favored by our location. That from here to Kampala, it is closer from here to Kampala than from Nakuru to Kampala. So it is us here now that we need to strategize, to be so strategic in everything. I want to assure the investors that the only town that is slum-free in the world is Eldoret. Just look around, you know Langas. The reason why Langas delayed a little bit is because they had a problem with their title deeds. But very soon we will sort out that problem. And you will see houses and buildings and construction springing up. Talk of, Huruma here. Huruma next is Shauri. You know Shauri very well. Right now, through KISU program, we are improving the infrastructure, we are improving the drainages, we are coming up with the lighting system. What people like is actually lights. So when we have this kind of a town, my friend, it is safer for everybody, especially the investors. And somebody said, if you came to Eldoret last week, by the time you come today, it will not look the same way you saw it last week, because there are many springing up of infrastructure. Business communities is always very innovative. You will be shocked at which Eldoret will grow. And I'm very sure it will be the fastest growing city in this part of the world. And I want to assure the investors that if there is a town you would wish to invest, if there are people you will need to interact, it is the people from Uasin Gishu. If you need your business to be protected and to expand, please come to Eldoret. Who is not in Eldoret? If we talk of the biggest names that you want to hear, it is here. Many years ago when we were students in high school, we used to be told, when you throw a stone somewhere in Siaya, you might hit a professor. But when you come to Eldoret, don't throw stones anyhow. You might hit a Kipchoge or a Faith Kipyegon, or you might hit the president, because leaders come from around this geography. So I want to assure our people that Eldoret is the place of choice and destination.
And it's so, in a minute, just your message to the people of Eldoret and pretty much the country in a minute.
Thank you. Let me echo what the governor has said. If you are not in Eldoret and you want to invest, where are you? This is where you're supposed to be. This is really your destination. So we want to encourage investors to come to Eldoret. We want to encourage visitors to come to Eldoret. We want to encourage students to come and study in Eldoret. We want to encourage people to come and seek medical attention in Eldoret. We want to encourage people to come and live in Eldoret, bring up their families. We have the most friendly county government, the most supportive county government. We have, if you have seen the humility of our athletes, they've gone far, they've gone wide, but they're always here. You will never see them, you'll never see pomp and ceremony, wherever they are, because of the kind of people that you can find in Eldoret. So welcome to Eldoret.
Let me say this one thing.
Briefly, yes.
When we talk as Eldoret, we are a cosmopolitan town. This city, or Eldoret, the second mayor of this city was a Luo. The first was, I don't know, Britain, whatever. The first African mayor was a Luo. So in this region, the fact that it is dominated by Kalenjins, but we have two MCS from another ethnic background, but they belong here. We have had an Indian become an MP here. So if you are not in Eldoret, where are you? And we are also asking that everybody else who makes sense in this country, they retire here in Eldoret. Yes. Those people who came to teach in Moi University as lecturers, already they are here. Those who came to teach in primary school, secondary schools, everywhere, everybody is now here. And I want to advocate, please don't waste your time. The faster you come, there is this room, Karibuni Eldoret.
And yes, indeed, Eldoret into the city, into a city. And this is a conversation that we continue to push towards 15th, when President William Ruto will be conferring Eldoret town into an Eldoret city. Jonathan B. Chelilim, the man with Nguzo Kumi, Koti Moja, says he's ready for the big day. And Tito Koyet, city manager, says that Eldoret is sizzling hot. And they're asking, if you are not in Eldoret, then where are you? My name is Dennis Aseto. But before we leave, Governor, as the people come here, they want to see you pull some moves. We know Gen Zs taught you how to angukanayo. Let's see how you pull these moves today. Governor,
just before that,
yes,
everything we are doing is historical. Last year, we held a devolution conference like never before. The devolution conference has been held once in a year, but this time it is once in 2 years. It is historical, right?
Yes.
Right now,